Hello, and welcome back. Once again, I am Rich, by name, not by nature unfortunately, and I am playing Champions Online, a superhero MMO, based on a pen and paper RPG, which I have never played, because the rulebook involves a lot of maths, and also because I don't think that I could find anyone who I could convince to try it with me. We are in the southern desert, which I assume means the American desert. I mean, we are probably in Arizona somewhere. There's a lot of talk about nuclear testing and American army stuff, and all the signage is in English, or at least the new signage is. There we go. Low-level radiation permeates this area, though burning sands is not nearly as deadly as the atomic wasteland to the north, where most of the government's nuclear tests were performed in the 1950s. Nevertheless, prolonged exposure to the radiation in this area is not recommended, as Primus has already seen deleterious effects and diminished mental capacity in some of their soldiers stationed into burning sands. If you experience nausea or vertigo, it is recommended you leave burning sands immediately. I don't know how you would control for that as a player. But, oh well. Where's the guy I need to speak to? Oh, here we are. As before, I will be playing this slowly at a pace where we can absorb the story or stories that the game is trying to tell us, because I enjoy the game and I feel that it has more to give than many people allow it. Certainly I'm guilty of zooming through all of the dialogue boxes and not paying attention to what it's saying most of the time. But I have caught enough over the years I've played this game to tell that it's got a lot of references, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and there's enough there to enjoy, I think. We've seen a lot of references to John Carpenter's John Carpenter? I hope I haven't been saying that wrong this whole time. Film Big Trouble in Little China, and indeed there are references to other films by the same director in this game, like They Live and The Thing. It's probably not John, is it? I'm just looking it up on my tablet. Oh no, there we are. John Carpenter. Director. Okay. Cool. I was correct. I like it when that happens. So, we're talking to Forward Observer Hooper. Hey, technical issues. Great to meet you. After that last irradiate attack, I've been assigned to keep a sharp eye on things, just in case those mutants take another attack run on Project Greenskin. Director Kaufman sent you? Great. We desperately need your help. Secure the skin samples. The Project Greenskin scientists are working around the clock to determine how radiation has affected the irradiate's genetic code. Our scientists believe they've made a breakthrough in their irradiate reversal experiments, but we need information on irradiate DNA and the substance that irradiates them. and those mutants aren't exactly cooperative, putting it mildly. The last scientist who tried to use a tissue analyzer on them ended up in a full body cast. That's bad news. Defeat an irradiate and use the tissue analyzer in your power tray. Also, go to the radiation pool nearby to take a sample of the radioactive fluid. If you can take the tissue and the radioactive fluid samples you collect to the fusion reversion device nearby, it may be able to reconstruct the mutated victim's original genetic structure. Yeah, this being a superhero universe, science is super advanced in some areas. The irradiates around burning sands and atomic wastelands won't listen to reason, but they understand brute force. You thump enough of them upside the head and maybe it will get into their thick radioactive skulls to leave us alone. I know you've been working hard, but I also know you're not one to shy away from a fight. Can I count on you, technical issues? Yes. So, Project Greenskin was set up because of Grond, which is this chap. This isn't literally Grond. This is a statue of him made as a reminder not to fuck up quite so badly again. Grond is like a Hulk stand-in, like an uncontrollable, mad, destructive Hulk. There's also a hero called Ironclad, who's a bit like Hulk when he went to another planet and became a gladiator. Although that's not the only thing that Ironclad takes from. They also take from Captain Atom, or yeah, DC's Captain Atom, I think, who was encased in living metal, because Ironclad is encased in living metal. Surprising though it may be to hear. I don't know what they're shooting at. I mean, just out into the area. It's a bit distracting. I think I'll turn the audio down a little bit further. But the voice volume up, because there are some voice lines. At least there probably will be around here. Here to lend a hand, are you? I ain't exactly a fan of you super types, but with all these irradiates still running around, I'm not going to turn down help. Personally, I prefer a well-armed, well-trained Primus soldier over any fancy cape, but Project Greenskin is still recovering from that massive irradiate attack, and we need to get the remaining irradiate forces under control ASAP. Now, the interesting thing here is that it would be entirely possible, to recreate this whole costume out of costume parts available to players in the character creator, and also, well, that includes the guns, and also you could create a character that uses guns, or various types of guns, and roleplay them, like build the history of them as being Primus agents. So you don't have to be a superhero along this line, or along a sort of Wonder Woman or Superman line. I wonder why this person's got a doll out. They don't actually do anything as far as I'm aware. They're just cosmetic. Anyway. Crate and Peril. Director Kaufman, is on the warpath. One of our pilots missed his target to airdrop crates and ammunition to our troops in the field. We believe that the crates were destroyed by all the irradiates in the area. Our weapons are useless unless we can get that ammunition to our troops in the field. We have an old vault where we used to house all our extra weapons, ammo, and other gear. Well, so this is surplus gear that you don't use anymore, that isn't in official adoption. So why would the ammo that you store there be relevant to current gear? Okay. Up until recently, the vault had been used as a refuge for Brother Almagordo and his crazy radiation followers, which we dealt with last time. Thanks to you, we were able to move in and secure the first portion of it. Head to the vault and see if you can get your hands on some more ammunition for us. But ammunition's not universal. Just watching Forgotten Weapons on YouTube for like 2 months has taught me this. Although to be fair, Forgotten Weapons hadn't started in 2009, it had only started in 2013. So the makers of this game would have had no hope of having seen any of it, so I suppose we can excuse them there. Minding the mutants. I've got a device I'd like you to test out. This crazy doodad allows you to mind control certain weak-willed beings. I'm uncomfortable with that. Use it on one of those deranged Primus mutants and bring them back to me for medical treatment. Okay, well, I mean... Oh yes, by the way, in this game, radiation doesn't just kill you, it sends you insane and starts to mutate you, so that you become like Grond, or the Grondlings, or these irradiate mutants, who can somehow lob globs of ammunition at you. Not ammunition, got it on mine. Radiation at you, or certainly radioactive globules. You should be able to stun them and then use the device on them to break their train of thought. You should also know that this device has not been fully tested and control may only last around 5 minutes, so try and hurry. You can find the mutants out in the eastern side of the Burning Sands, just past Colonel Vanderbilt's observation post. This will only work on deranged Primus mutants. Any others are far too powerful for this prototype device. Okay. There's another quest. Around here somewhere. Oh, that's the same information we got before. So where... Aha! Corman Hazen. Do I look tired? I've been working around the clock to get medical relief to injured Primus soldiers. Sure, Primus soldiers are plenty tough, but the irradiate attacks are unrelenting, and even our finest soldiers are unable to fight indefinitely. An appeal to heal. Before you showed up, our soldiers were getting wiped up. Thank goodness you've helped turn things around. But we still have a lot of injured soldiers that need attending to, and it's more than I can keep up with. Please, technical issues. Lives are depending on you. Target them and use the triage bag to quickly heal their wounds and get them on their feet. You should be able to find the soldiers around Burning Sands and near the border of Burnside to the north. Okie dokie. What info do you have for us? Dedicated medic saving the lives of fallen soldiers around Burning Sands. Okay. A worthy chap. And this guy had information as well, didn't he? A rather abrasive Primus veteran of 15 years, Corporal Bine has special forces training and is skeptical of anything other than his equipment. Clearly in over his head, trying to keep the Burning Sands area safe, Corporal Bine has been recruiting superheroes in the uranium flats to supplement his existing Primus agents. Okay. So, a couple of streams ago, I had an issue where OBS wasn't actually sending any visual information to Twitch, and I just want to check to make sure, because I've become paranoid about it now since then, since that issue, and I just want to check that it is in fact working. Yes. Then all is well. So we are somewhat over-leveled for this stuff, I think. These guys are showing as green, and that's so it goes white, green, blue, yellow, orangey, red, I think. Oh, I actually have to target him. Wow, that's quick. Pretty magical triage bag, isn't it? Straight up and on his feet immediately. The wonders of modern medical science. Oh, you even summon a little bag with a cross on it. I think this is the pool I wanted to get sample from. Oh yes, and I'm also supposed to be getting skin sample from one of them, aren't I? Oh, rescued all of them. Good out. Actually hovering above the pool was dealing me small amounts of damage, so I couldn't actually complete interacting with it, so... I think that got the skin sample I needed. It's still recharging. How am I supposed to collect skin samples then? It's always frustrating when that happens. Blot! A grundling. No extra information about grundlings, or indeed Blart himself. I wonder if he's a mall cop. Or was. Sorry, I saw that there was a message in chat, but accidentally hit something on my phone to move away from it, so I didn't see it. Or I didn't read it. I apologize. I have chat on my phone because I haven't been able to work out how to have it on screen, because I only have the one screen. Secure the skin samples. Weakened, aggressive, or crazed irradiates. Okay, so I need to get specific irradiates. Right, let's try you. Thanks, knobhead. They're all crazed irradiates. That's not very helpful. Crazed. Yes, I know that there are more injured Primus soldiers around, but I don't actually have the medical bag to help them. Do I have to get them below a certain amount of health? No, that didn't help. Oh, I've been using the wrong device. I was trying to use... a device for a different mission. Okay, now it's working. This is a highly radioactive skeleton that is a crafting nodule. Not quite sure why it has to be a radioactive skeleton, but okay. What do we have to here? Ranged Primus mutants. Oops. How low am I? Oh, there we go. Ah. Almost had him. So it needs to be like the last little bit. And you have to be within a certain range of him. Won't work. This is incredibly frustrating. Does the game just not want me to fucking get these guys, or what? Oh, there we go. Finally. Man, I hope this isn't an escort quest where he'll get attacked. Doesn't seem like it. Come on. Just got a few more skin samples to collect, and then I need to go into the vault. Oops, that was not what I intended to push. You saved a lot of lives today, technical issues. We're not going to forget this around here. Cool. Let's go to the vault. Ah. They're going to give us a quest. For the betterment of science. That already does not fill me with hope. We were making great strides in our research into the radiation plaguing this area. Then, next thing we knew, there were irradiates everywhere. The entire staff got away with the exception of one, Dr. Akula. He stayed behind to finish the research, but at what price? We have to get him out of there. The research center we set up is in the old main chamber that monster Almagordo was staying in. It was there that the radiation signatures were the strongest. Please go and check that Dr. Akula is safe. He's gonna have gone insane as well, isn't he? Although hopefully it's not been long enough that it's permanent. Hey! Naked carpenter. That doesn't sound safe. But I assume you know what you're doing. Glad to have you along, and I will try to be as interesting as possible. Although I can't promise that will tickle your particular fancy. I gave a bit of a spiel when I started streaming, but I don't believe that there was anyone here at the time. I was just doing it for the benefit of VOD watchers, I suppose. So I'm playing Champions Online. It's a superhero MMO based on a pen and paper RPG that has almost nothing to do with this. I mean, the lore is broadly the same, and there are some terms that we used in the rulebook for like how powers work that are used again here in the game, but the way that actual powers function is totally different. And I'm playing this game to look at the stories that it's telling. So I'm not going to rush through as I would normally, as I expect many people do. I will be paying attention to the things that the game is telling me, and also to the interesting things that the game designers decided to include, like no electrical conduits between these lights, which implies that they cut into the stone and then put the cabling in and then covered it up with concrete or something and made it look like a rock face. There's also the fact that these vehicles do not have the clearance underneath them to go up inclines like the ones between the rooms, so quite how the vehicles managed to get in is not clear. Like this slope in particular should not be navigable by that forklift. These guys are irritating because they can reanimate their allies, so quite apart from it just being fairly sensible to attack the higher health dudes first, or at least I think that's a reasonable thing to do. Attacking the atomic reanimators is generally good practice anyway, because it means they won't be able to reanimate dudes who you've already killed. Oh. So currently I'm collecting ammo, although the fact that this is decommissioned ammo, or like ammo for weapons that they're not currently using because it's in storage, like deep storage for old stuff that they don't use anymore, has mystified me. I'm not quite sure why they would want ammo for weapons that they don't use anymore, but oh well, I'm not going to tell the soldiers what to do or how to do their jobs. I've also been asked, once I came in here, to rescue a scientist who was here for too long, Dr. Akula, although he seems fine, so I'm going to assume that he has been afflicted with the radiation madness that humans in this universe seem to experience when they get near radiation. And I'll probably have to beat him up. I'm sure we'll find out when we get there. Well, he doesn't... he's friendly at the moment, but that just means it could change. He's definitely surrounded by a cloud of radiation, or at least this is how the game denotes radiation. You will never guess what I have discovered. Nothing! I've been working my butt off trying to figure out a cure for this radiation sickness. I've even risked my life and I've gotten nowhere with it. Wait a second. That's it! Give me just a few moments to let me test one last thing. Watch my back. Oh, so he's been continuing to work. Well. Either... Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's what I thought. It was either this or he was going to ingest something and transform himself. In fact, that might still happen. Just because that's what happens in these games. Yeah, okay, that means there's probably going to be another wave spawning. I'm not quite sure what's going on with the cursor. I mean, I don't know whether it's visible on the stream, but to me, the cursor has got a second cursor following it around, which is always distracting. See, my suspicion is that he's been driven crazy by the radiation and he's about to pour something into a beaker that will transform him into a radiation-fueled mutant. And the thing is that I've tended to avoid playing the desert areas because I don't really like the area very much. So I've not actually played this mission before. So I don't know what's going to happen. Typically I've just been power leveling through stuff to get my character higher level so I get more powers. How long is he going to say almost there for? He's been saying that the whole time. I wonder what kind of quest this qualifies as being called. Is it a protection quest? Or mission? Like there are... Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, he's fine. That's good to know. It's just occurred to me, where are all these irradiates coming from? There aren't any other doors. Have they been coming in past the people we met at the entrance? Are they okay? Are they fine? Have the mutants been coming out of lockers because they were just chilling in these tiny cubicles or crates? Or do these hinge down and let people in? So you found him, and he wanted to keep working. That guy is crazy. He thinks he figured it out, but we'll see when we actually test his results. I think the radiation is getting to him. Well, thank you for finding and rescuing him from those irradiates. It's nice to know the stories I've heard about you are true. Keep up the good work. That reminds me of a storyline from a comic called Global Frequency, which involved people getting exposed to a chemical, I think, like a psychoactive chemical that caused them to become obsessed with something that was important to them. So like it affected a bunch of surgeons, and they started conducting unnecessary surgery on people, and it affected the person that Global Frequency, the organization, called in. His obsession was rescuing people, and he became obsessed with rescuing people whilst he was, or saving people whilst he was there. So let's place the skin and radioactive fluid samples in here and heal these two dudes. Or all of these dudes. Okay. Great. And they... He's got sand in his shoes again. That must be deeply irritating. Although, how long are his limbs? Oh well. Yeah, I think I've read that before. You're a true hero, Technical Issues. You saved those poor people from a terrible fate. You've done some great work, but we still have a long way to go before we can get this irradiate problem under control. Talk to Corporal Bine and talk to Corporal Bine. Sorry, Cauldron. Not concentrating. We've got soldiers fighting for their lives, and Bine's the guy making sure they have the equipment they need to survive. He is just across the way to the west. Yep, we've already been talking to him. Thanks for reporting for duty, Technical Issues. I was wondering when the brass was going to send some backup. I got a lot of good soldiers out there who are running out of time. I think I must have gotten his missions before I should technically have been able to, according to the story, because my level was high enough to qualify for them anyway, so... Good work. Some people get headaches after they use the mind control device. I have aspirin if you need it. So what am I supposed to... I was just in the Primus Vault. Why am I not able to... Why? I thought I picked up all the... crates in there. Oh no, I didn't. I missed one somehow. I'll have to fight my way back through to get the last one. Should have paid attention, I suppose. Somehow managed to view the inside of her breastplate there. That's awkward. It's got to be in here, hasn't it? I mean, I was in the last room. Or maybe there were 2 boxes of ammo in the last room that I just missed one of. Oh, that's it. There we go. There were 2 boxes in here. There we go, finally. Okay, now I can leave. Thanks for retrieving that ammo, technical issues. Once we get the ammunition distributed around, it will provide our weary soldiers with some much-needed firepower. So, they're just going at it with bayonets until now? We're having a problem with one of our Primus officers, Major Gertz. I believe you've met him before in Gigaton's vault. Unfortunately, all the radiation he's been exposed to has warped his body and mind. Talk to Colonel Vanderbilt about bringing Gertz and his followers in. You can find him out near the burned-out supply vehicle on the way to the spiral. Okay, I don't know where the spiral is. Is it? Oh, this is the spiral. Okay. I'm glad you're here. I'm Colonel Vanderbilt. My job is to oversee some of the bravest young Primus recruits in the entire nation. Unfortunately, all it takes is one rotten soldier to make all of us look bad. I'm sure we've spoken to Vanderbilt before. Word about your fine work around Project Greenskin is getting around. Technical issues. Yeah, there's grammar issues in this as well, isn't there? It's an honor to meet you, but I'm sure that we've met before. Primus commanding officer overseeing peacekeeping efforts in Burning Sands. Don't give him any guff if you know what's good for you. Okay. My biggest worry is more of my men will go rogue because of all the exposure to radiation. That's what's happened to Major Gertz. He dedicated his life to stopping Grond, but spent too much time around radiation and desert heat, and it's affected his brain chemistry, making him mean, dangerous, and crazy. Apparently some of the new equipment I ordered for our science division was stolen by soldiers loyal to Major Gertz. Now their experiments are stalled until we get that stuff back. Care to help out? The Project Greenskin scientists would sure be appreciative if you did. Head to the eastern side, into the eastern side of the Burning Sands near the mutated Primus soldiers, and you'll find the stolen research equipment there. How do I carry it? My understanding is scientific research equipment is pretty bulky. Like, do I have access to a subspace storage device? That's how I'm carrying everything? Or is it supposed to be lots of small equipment? Mission demolition. It looks like a few munitions crates got airdropped to the wrong location. Yeah, we heard about that. To make matters worse, the squad of soldiers sent out to recover the crates mutated. That's definitely bad news. Reports have mentioned that many of the mutated soldiers out there are starting to use the weapons from those crates. We need to destroy at least one of those crates and get the weapons out of those mutated soldiers' hands. Okay, sounds reasonable. Oh, that's bad news. Grond is hanging out, and oh jeez. He's a cosmic. Why am I being attacked by SAM missiles? He's not under our control anymore? Slow missiles, yeah, okay. Well, I don't think it would be a good idea for me to try and face Grond, although he's gone now, so that's good. Mainly because he is a cosmic level threat, which is the highest level, like, end game stuff in the game. And I am level 18 of 40, so I'm less than half. Not that I would really be able to solo him, even if I had, even if I was max level and had end game equipment, because I am a ranged, well, not glass cannon really, but I'm a ranged DPS. I'm not built for dealing with any amount of damage, certainly not the amount that Grond can put out. Tales of Serpent, Issue 4. Winter Strikes Serpent. This lurid, gratuitously violent comic book tells the story of an elite commando squad known as Serpent, who secretly saved the world from the bungling and corrupt government agency, Primary, and the reckless, superpowered fools who blindly serve them. You assume similarities between Serpent and Viper are purely coincidental. Okay, interesting. How Viper see themselves. Okay. That's all of that I need. Still need to destroy crates. I'm not sure where they are. I'm right near the edge of a map. Or an edge of the map. Let's fly over here. Even having a missile explode in my face isn't phasing me. I think that just shows that the threats that I will face as a superhero are kind of major. I've got another quest over here. So I destroyed a munition. No, I need to destroy a munitions crate, and I have recovered one Primus weapon, but I don't know who I need to. Is it the officers that I need to take out to get the equipment from? Do they drop it? doesn't appear so. Oh, there's the Primus weapon. Okay. Wow, that dropped gear. Okay. So I guess I just need to hang out dropping these guys so that they drop. We can go in, I think, but we don't actually have the mission to do so. And so I don't think that we will just yet. I wish I could tell which dudes will drop the stuff that we actually need. I mean, we only need 2 more, and to find the crate, wherever that is. I mean, hopefully the defined area will shrink when it's only the crate we're after, but part of me suspects that it won't. Okay, 1 more. Hey, good. Oh, I even got 1 more than I needed. So where is... Oh, okay. One of the crates will be in one of these camps. Somewhere. It's probably... yeah, there we go. Munitions crate. Alright. That was fairly obvious. Now, flying with ordinary powers isn't fast enough to get you out of the area and away from the SAM missiles, but this should be. that sure looks like bad news. Thank you, friend. This equipment is too valuable to risk falling into the wrong hands. Don't let Major Gertz and his traitorous crew influence your opinion of Primus soldiers. Our young Primus recruits are some of the nation's best and brightest, and frankly, I couldn't be more proud. Thanks, technical issues. Now I need to track down the pilot that mistakenly airdropped those munitions and give him an earful. Sounds about right. As if we didn't have enough problems with attacking irradiates, Primus Major Gertz went AWOL and assembled his own army of irradiate troops. Radiation has eaten away at his mind, making him crazy and delusional, and convinced him that humanity needs to be exterminated. Gertz has to be stopped. Find the key to his bolt hole on one of the officers. They can be found on or around the Spiral Ridge in the Primus mutant camp. Enter the hatch to the bolt hole on top of the Spiral Ridge and defeat Gertz. Okay. I guess we don't have the, key yet. I mean, we could go to the top of the spiral and the hatch was flashing, but I guess interacting with it wouldn't do anything. Or maybe it would take us to like the non-mission interior of the location, which does happen sometimes. Oh, there we go. Good. Two of them. Lucky. It didn't have to be one of the It didn't have to be one of the officers. It was just one of the soldiers. So far, this seems to be exactly the same layout as the vault that we fought Gigaton in. Which is a bit weird. I think even the placement of this on the metal walkway is exactly the same. It's just we've got different enemies to fight. Yeah, even that's there. Wow, lazy. I mean, you've got the tool set, the tile set. Can you not come up with something new? Oh, we don't have quite as much of it as there would have been in the, or as there was in the Gigaton fight. So this is blocked off. Don't go stealing liberal anti-establishment lines. Major Gertz. Just another critter. Move along. Okay. Yeah. I believe you. Gertz has been a thorn in my side for too long, friend. Thank you for stopping him on behalf of Project Greenskin and the brave soldiers of Primus. Director's Directive. You've been doing great work here around Project Greenskin. I'd hate to think what sort of shape we'd be in if you didn't show up when you did. I've received word that Kaufman wants to talk to you. Pay him a visit. He's got some more work for you. Okay. You can actually go up into the glass-covered walkways here, if you feel like it, but there isn't actually anything up there. There was when this area was cut off in the disaster storyline. Oh, and you can also mount up whilst you're inside here, for no reason. Zoom about on a jet bike. And even leave through a lift, probably. Just get on the lift, on your jet bike. No problems there. Kaufman. Ah, so you're back, and I heard you helped Colonel Vanderbilt deal with our problem with Major Gertz. An unfortunate situation. Gertz was a good man once. I just hope we get the irradiate problem under control before more fine soldiers crack under the strain. Well, it wasn't the strain, really. Radioactive barbarians at the gates. You've got a real presence, technical issues, and I think you inspire greatness in others. I'm a high-tech, angry electric punk. You can certainly build a character that has enormous presence and inspires people around them to do better, but that's not the power set I'm using. That's exactly what those Primus boys need, the ones mixing it up with the mutant attackers outside Project Greenskin. How about lending a hand? It would be a real boost for the troops. Meet them at the... Ooh, nice. Flying around on a lump of concrete. Meet them at the vehicle barricade. After you take down a bunch of those irradiates, talk to Sergeant Wolf. Or Wolf? Wolf at the standoff point. The standoff point is at the pass north of Project Greenskin that leads out of Burning Sands. Okie dokie. Crafty witchcraft. I'm a bit worried about Witchcraft, a member of the Soupy team, the Champions, who's investigating the ghosts down in Burnside, a ghost town of Burnside. It seems like she has a personal stake in the trouble going on over there, and I'm sure she'd appreciate your help. If it's personal for her, why would she want anyone else? You know what, never mind. She's just outside the ghost town of Burnside, north of Project Greenskin. Yep, I could have worked that out myself. Anyway. here's the vehicle standoff, where we need to do some fighting, I guess. There is a fairly similar mission in Canada, the Canada zone. Actually, so it looks like they're just recycling missions. Seeing you in action was awesome. I've got like 3 powers, dude. Chill out. You truly are inspiring. Technical issues. We will never let up as long as there are irradiates out there to fight. And then we will leave them to their never-ending stream of attackers. Oh well. Not if we actually go and pick up the drop that we attained. And accidentally pull the whole wave, but after this we'll leave them to it. I don't know why they're not helping. Oh well. Witchcraft is kind of like Scarlet Witch, only themed green and with transparent clothing, apparently. But she's not like Scarlet Witch in that her powers are actually arcane and trained, or at least trainable, rather than being like a mutant power. So in that way she's a bit like a combination of Scarlet Witch and Zatanna or Doctor Strange, only obviously female and themed green. In universe she's dating Defender, which presents something of an awkward problem. Like, she's not wearing a mask, she's just got a circlet on and has glowing eyes. And Defender actually does have a mask, and he has a secret identity of James Harmon III, I think. So if he ever is with her in public in his civilian persona, that's going to be creating issues. Dr. Kaufman sent you? Fantastic. I could use a bit of help here to quiet the restless dead of this ghost town. May the Eye of Horus protect and guide you. Technical issues. That sounds like it could be reasonable. Real name Bethany Dukenzie. Witchcraft is a powerful mystical superheroine and member of the super team The Champions. Currently romantically involved with Defender, leader of the Champions. Sister to Pamela Dukenzie, who also possesses powerful supernatural talents, but, unlike her noble sister Witchcraft, has opted to use them for evil as the supervillainess Talisman. What's the betting that Talisman is behind all these walking ghosts? Technical issues. I am being held captive by the same supernatural threat that is plaguing the old town of Burnside. A powerful curse of mystical concealment prevents me from telling you details, but I may be able to counter the curse with your help. Okay, that's why she looks see-through. Although it's definitely very unfortunate that her clothes are somehow more see-through than the rest of her is. Because this isn't ordinarily what you see when you meet her later. Collect ectoplasmic residue from the Burnside ghosts. These restless and disturbed spirits have been touched by the same corrupting forces that hold me captive. Perhaps by examining them we can discover a solution to my problem, as well as help the spirits of Burnside find peace. Burnside is in the west of the middle area of Uranium Flats. Yes, I know. We are literally outside of the location. Maybe we were supposed to have met her astral projection like here or something? And they've altered it slightly since then? Maybe? I don't remember. As I mentioned before, I haven't played this area before. Reno Randall. Stranger, I've been standing here for going on 150 years, and I had never seen nobody gussied up as outlandishly as you. I'm Reno Randall. Back in the late 1800s, I used to be mayor of this here cowtown. Maybe it was a bad idea to vow to haunt Burnside till I got revenge on the varmints that murdered me. Yeah, maybe. Restless spirit of the mayor of Burnside. He was murdered by some heartless killers who killed Reno just to see him die. Yep. The only way that they could have made that more of a reference if they'd said, if they killed the man Reno just to watch him die. Anyway, restless spirit. What? Oh, I didn't. Okay. I thought I had that selected, but I guess I didn't. I made a promise that I wouldn't move on to the next world till I got my vengeance. Now that a dark magician is raising Burnside townfolk from the dead, and I finally got my chance to make things right. Justice is long overdue, stranger. You feel like lending a hand? All four of them can be found around Burnside, either in the graveyard west of the town or around the town centre. Did he mention a number of people? Know that a dark magician is raising Burnside townfolk. So, is it the townfolk that there's 4 of them, of which there are 4 who I need to deal with? Or are there 4 evil dudes, dark magicians, that I need to deal with? Answer's unclear. Residents of the Old West Gold Rush boomtown of Burnside. These unfortunately old cowboys have been brought back from the dead and are agitated and angry. This old soul shuffled off the mortal coil more than a century ago, but still refuses to give up his guns. Unmistakably evil black stone. Nice. So that will be here. Don't touch it, it's evil. Alright, well, if you double click on this cold to the touch, unmistakably evil black stone, you can investigate its mystery. That's leaning awfully hard on the 4th wall there. The strange stone fell among the remains of the cursed. Only witchcraft can explain it. Okay. I mean, it is actually possible to play as a supernaturally talented character in this game, using supernatural powers and presumably supernatural knowledge. But no, witchcraft knows more than I do. What is this you bring me? This stone is made of pure malice, magically compressed into material form. This is a very dangerous item. No shit. Okay, what level is she? 16. I'm higher level than she is. Well, okay, I'm higher level than her projection is, but I don't know whether I'm higher level than her actual superhero self. Origin of the Blackstones. That black stone is a truly evil portent indeed. Gather more malignant black stones from the spirits of Burnside, and it will weaken the evil festering around here. Or just collect the evil in one place to manifest when we get enough of them and attack us. That's also a possibility. Any of the ghosts of Burnside might have one. Take the espial salve from my bag and 10 stones to a ghastly campfire to reveal their origin. Hurry, we need to weaken this evil so my curse will fail. Surely the curse on you, not your curse, because the way that that's worded implies that it's a curse that you created or laid, not one that's on you. And these guys really needed an editor, like a proofreader, to go through mission text and make sure that it made sense. Ooh, mysterious map. That's opened up another quest. Or it will when I click on it. Let's do that. You found a mysterious map among the remains of a spirit of Burnside. It looks like the treasure is just west of the graveyard up a hill. The exclamation point on your map. Press M marks the spot. Oh boy. Except it's not an exclamation mark. It's been changed. Thanks guys. Dead helpful. So this must be one of the dudes that I need to take down. Put to rest, I suppose. I mean, I'm not killing him, he's already dead. Dead, agitated and angry. This trigger-happy buckaroo is not yet ready to give up the ghost or his old 6 guns. Stay strong against this gaucho ghost, or it'll freeze you in place with fear. Or will it? Hoot, burn it. Oh, it's exactly the same. Okay. Exactly the same text. Ooh, that's interesting. I've not seen that happen before. But thematically it makes sense for a ghost to be able to use dark fear powers. Why does the Dark Lady speak so often of the Circle of the Scarlet Moon? Okay, yeah, I thought so. So they're talking about a Dark Lady. Reno mentioned that a dark, an evil presence had taken over, or taken up residence. And I think oh, he's actually got a name, so he'll be another one of the ones. Oh yes, there we go. Both of them mentioned that someone evil had taken up residence here, and my guess was that it would be Witchcraft's sister, whose name I can't remember at the moment. Aha. Hey guys, you looking for a party? Long buried boots. I received a pair of old boots. Gold spurred boots emblazoned with the letters RR, which must be Reno. What's his name? Reno Randall. There we go. So the last guy I need to get will probably be over here, I guess. That's moving. That's interesting. What's his name? Pistol Packin' Eddie Dean. Where's he? Nope. Nope. No, we don't want to go down there yet. Is this him? No, that's just a condemned ghost. Okay. Oh, is that him? Yes, it is. Does he have any... No, he doesn't. Okay, he doesn't have any different information for us. What's the last thing I need to do? Oh, right. Take stones to a mystic bonfire. One of which I saw over here. But I don't know where there might be some other ones, so let's go back to this one. For the sake of convenience, apply salve and heat stones. Hellfire shard. That sounds like bad news. Soul-scathing fission surrounds the shard. Yeah. I was killed for these spurs. No one good. Those no good, murdering scoundrels. Well, they killed each other after stealing my boots. Thank you for returning them to their rightful owner. And also, we're probably going to... Friend, you done me a good turn, and I won't forget it. There's a big bright light opening up, telling me to walk toward it, but I think I'll stand here a spell and say goodbye to old Burnside first. Oh, good old Burnside first. That seems like a bad idea. Like, how long could you have? We got a 6-shooter stashed in that funny outfit of yours, pal? No, as it happens, I don't. Somebody else might, though, so stick around. You have done much to aid this cursed community. I am very grateful for your efforts here, technical issues, but your most dangerous task is still ahead of you. What was the talisman? That's the one. Pretty generic name. I am exceedingly grateful for this, technical issues. I will tell you more when I can, but for now I need you to trust me. World of Witchcraft, come on. The land around Burnside has been tainted by supernatural evil. Those strange totems you see around the cursed town are ensorcelled to amplify the evil. Those totems must be destroyed if we hope to purify the Burnside ground and let the dead return to their eternal slumber. You know, for having been abandoned for about 150 years, this place is still standing remarkably well. Oh, I see. I target it. Attack it. Okay. Ooh, a doomed soul. That's bad news. Spirits. Go back to the dead, agitated and angry. Doomed and damned. This spiteful spectre will suck your spirit dry. The spooky friends he summons makes this ancient apparition the life of the party, so make sure his minions are defeated first and foremost. Presumably that would be a going issue if I were less powerful. they fade once he's defeated, so it's not actually really necessary to defeat them first. Okay, good to know. How many do I need to do? 5. Okay. Well, there's definitely more than 5 around. But that'll do, I suppose. For the purposes of the mission. Seems that 5 is enough. It's interesting that they're not dropping anything. And is this moving patch of purple going to be relevant later? Call in with your answers now. Ooh, that's something to interact with. In fact, that's probably actually just a crafting node. Now that I think about it. Oh, and it's one I can interact with. Splendid. So let's go back to Witchcraft. Bethany Dukenzie. Or Dukens, possibly? I don't know. Do you have a connection with the supernatural realms? If so, you will sense how the destruction of the cursed totems lifted a foul weight from the land. I'll take your word for it. Still, there is much work to be done before I can tell you who is behind this and where they have me held prisoner. It's your sister, and it'll probably be a pocket dimension or something. Exercise regime. I don't know why I'm surprised. This is exactly the speed this game goes at. The dead are rising. Angry their rest has been disturbed. Go to the Burnside graveyard and exorcise some of those spirits from the lands. The departure of the furious dead will diminish the hold over me. Their power is weakening, but I cannot break through yet. Go to the well in the graveyard to the west of the town of Burnside in Western Uranium Flats. The scroll will protect you. Why is there a well in the graveyard? Who thought that was a good idea? Has this gotten heavier? Or is it just because I'm further away? This mist. There's a crafting. Oh, there we go. Behind us. For a ghost, this old spectral pooch sure has a mighty fierce bite. Okay, what's happening here? Was I supposed to have fought them? Ooh, he's got a howl power. Interesting. So a bunch of those... Ooh, there we go. Doomed souls spawned, rushed the well, and flailed about. But I didn't see because I wasn't paying attention. I was reading something else. And were probably killed, or I suppose put to rest. But some kind of scroll protected me, I guess, which is nice. That's the prison stronghold. I think it's called Stronghold. It might not be. I don't know why they need searchlights in the air. Oh well. Thank you, Technical Issues. Your efforts have shattered the curse of mystical concealment. Now I can finally tell you the identity of my captor, and the one... Yes, talisman. The one behind this supernatural abomination. My captor is none other than my sister, the mystical supervillainess known as Talisman. What a surprise. Sinisister. Now that I am free of the curse of mystical concealment, I can finally tell you the truth. My evil sister Talisman captured me, took me to the haunted mine, and is holding me captive with a curse of frigid despair. It takes all my energy to produce this astral projection, and I am afraid my time is running short. Talisman tells me I must submit my power to her or perish. I must need the extra power. She must need the extra power for something huge. Hurry, Technical Issues. I sense she is growing impatient with me, and readying the materials for a ceremony to sacrifice me to the dark gods. Talisman has made her lair in the haunted mine near the graveyard of Burnside, west of the town. Yeah, I knew it would be inside somewhere, but I was perhaps ascribing too much competence to Talisman and thinking she might have created some kind of pocket dimension, like with Kigatilik. Or Tolzagat in Canada, who had mystical ice realms. No, Talisman is just inside of a mine. Why would you put the mine right by, or rather, why would you put the graveyard right by the mine? Why wouldn't you put it somewhere else? And there's also the... Oh, and there's Talisman. And the Scarlet Moon. Seduced by the power of the darkest magic. Talisman. Okay, we can't read that. I think this might actually be the first time I've seen Talisman in the game. Because you, as far as I can recall, you don't see her later. I guess you get her to completely fuck off when you deal with her here. Or maybe she's locked up. The rest of the game until endgame, or perhaps until... I mean, there's a superhero prison, or supervillain prison here in the desert that's called Stronghold or something. So, this doesn't look like the inside of a mine. And that dynamite will have been lying there for a very long time, so all of the nitroglycerin inside of it will have settled to one location, because I've heard, I don't know this personally from any information I've personally gathered, but I've heard that with dynamite you have to rotate it so that the glycerin or the nitroglycerin inside the sticks doesn't like seep into one place and seep out, and if you don't rotate dynamite, you just get pools of nitroglycerin. Which is not something that is safe to transport or really to be around. Because glycerin, or nitroglycerin, does not like being moved. Oh yes, it must be nitroglycerin. Glycerin is fine. And you can use it in cooking. It's perfectly sedate. But nitroglycerin is a problem. So yes, I was saying there's a superhero prison here, and I got distracted by sticks of dynamite, ancient sticks of dynamite. There's a prison here, and in a game like this, well, in any game, you don't introduce a location unless you intend to use it, and the traditional use in games for prisons is prison breaks. So my expectation is, I mean, there was already a prison break from the jail in Millennium City that we dealt with. In fact, there was 2. So my expectation is that there will be a prison break storyline from Stronghold as well. This is way too spacious to be a real mine. Although, having said that, the sewer system that the game uses is also absurdly spacious, so I suppose just people who construct things in superhero universes do so on a much larger scale. Like, my character is, I think, supposed to be about 6 foot, maybe a bit less, and like she is less than half the height of she's like a third of the height of these tunnels. Oh, there's Talisman. Can we get close enough to look at her costume, because it's kind of slutty. Oops, we've pulled her. She is the twin sister of the heroic witchcraft, but she is far darker than her sister. Raised by their parents to become a part of the Circle of the Scarlet Moon, she always resented sharing the spotlight with witchcraft. While her sister rejected their parents' evil ways, she embraced the darkness and soon surpassed her parents in both talent and villainy. She will do nearly anything to hurt her sister.
You are a weakling, just like my sister Witchcraft and the rest of the champions.
What's going on with her costume?
You belong strong and talented with the rest.
I will kill and take command of my soul like the rest of those doomed fools and birds. How do those powers of yours bear against my deadly hellfire?
And she escapes. Of course she does. You have defeated me this time, but I will be seeing you again very, very soon. Yeah, see, her clothes are not actually see-through in real life, just in her astral projection. Which we have to take as something that she's done deliberately. Or may just be an effect of how astral projection works. I mean, I haven't seen any other characters astral project in the same way. Like, Ravenspeaker has an astral projection when he's in the Canadian problem area, disaster. But what level is she? 17. So she's less powerful than us. Probably about equivalent power level for the area. Doesn't really encourage any confidence that she got captured by mysterious note. Temblor, your orders are simple. Observe Talisman's operation in the ghostly town of Burnside, but do not interfere. Hide yourself within the stone. Temblor, where you may see... Hide yourself within the stone, Temblor, where you may see but remain unseen. In particular, watch for the appearance of a fledgling hero called Technical Issues. The name appeared in the entrails of a sacrificed lawman, and indicated it would come into conflict with Talisman. However, the sacrifice died before I could learn further details. Once you have information, withdraw. Eclipse may need aid in his search for the basilisk orb in the north. But as you go, do this. Leave these orders behind for this technical issues to find. I would have this pest know that we are watching. Dark Seraph. That's awfully overconfident, isn't it? We have literally yet to fail. I mean, admittedly, we haven't actually done that much, but I think you're biting off more than you can chew there. You have a powerful aura, my friend. I am grateful to you to have you for an ally. I owe you a great debt of gratitude. When I return to Millennium City, I will talk to my Boo, Defender, and put in a good word for you, should ever a spot on the champions open up. How do they determine how many people are on the champions in the first place? Like, why not just include lots of people? Meet Professor Ciraulo. I sensed a disturbance nearby. Oh no! Technical issues. I think poor Professor Ciraulo might need your help. Maybe you should check on him. He's been doing research on the irradiates, and his camp is just past Burnside, on the edge of the atomic wastelands. Okay, Minion of Malice. While I was being held captive, Talisman mentioned that her supernatural minion Leech is creating an irradiate army inside of an old gold mine within the atomic wasteland. Now that you've managed to make Talisman flee the area, Leech has been freed from his supernatural servitude and is plotting a terrible revenge against humanity. You must stop him before finishes amassing his army. Before he finishes amassing his army, presumably. Going to, as I suspected, guide me over here. Where we saw before. Professor Ciraulo. Ah, hello there, technical issues. It's a wonderful day for science, don't you think? Unfortunately, the irradiates don't seem to agree. What a surprise. Witchcraft sent you? Oh, yes, charming girl. And things have been a little troublesome around here lately. Oops. Let's get some info on him. Primus scientist and expert in the field of genetic mutation. That's handy. Trashed transport. Oh dear, it's lucky you're here. The transport truck I just sent out with a sample of my new prototype anti-mutation serum was just attacked by irradiates and is now swarming with mutants. How ironic. Could you head down the road and take a look at the wreck? I need to get the serum back. Oh, you might want to keep an eye out for the driver, assuming he survived. Okay. That's a bit cavalier. Wouldn't you want me to look for the driver first and then the serum? Do you know some of those irradiates to the north actually feed on radiation? We need to do something about them before they turn into something even more interesting. Dangerous. It's just a matter of time before they grow giant-sized and start breathing radioactive green fire. You can find those radiation eaters near the radioactive pools down in the valley. Poisoned pools. Radiation has given us so many great things, but it's also given us grundlings, and those pesky mutated irradiates. Fortunately, I've developed an iodine decontamination solution that may lessen the effects of the radiation. Unfortunately, it needs to be applied directly to the radioactive debris in the toxic depths of a pool, but that's nothing you can't handle. You're assuming a lot there, friend. You'll find toxic pools all over the uranium flats in the Irradiates Valley, northeast of Burnside. So, here, basically. That'll be, yeah, there we go. Supply truck driver. trapped under a radioactive barrel, I guess. Oh, and he's fine, even though there's still a barrel there. Okay. Can you help me get out of here? If I can make it back to Professor Ciraulo, I'll be safe, but I know these mutant monsters will jump me if I stop moving. Can you help keep them off me? Yes. That is definitely something of which I am capable. Is that the only thing I needed to pick up? Apparently. You're a Primus soldier, you're not just a driver, come on. Oh, excellent. The driver survived. All due to your heroic effort, no doubt. Yeah, basically. Trash transport. Oh, thank you, technical issues. It's actually quite lucky you came by. I just thought of how to perfect my serum right after I put it on the truck. And just in time, too. More mutants by the minute. Ready for a search and rescue mission, friend? Primus sent a squad of soldiers to deal with the mutated irradiates some time ago. They haven't reported back, and if those poor men have had prolonged exposure to those glowing pools, radiation sickness should start kicking in any time, followed by rampant mutation. I feel like that's preferable to what actually happens to people exposed to massive amounts of radiation in the real world. Because, I mean, you're mutated and insane, but at least you're still alive. They'll need to be dosed with my serum. If you run out and need more, well, you know where to find me. Indeed. Ooh. That's a grundling, that's fine. Dud Reckoning. Back in the late 50s, this area was used by the army to test nuclear missiles. More than a half-century later, there are still unexploded warheads out there. Can you retrieve the radioactive material before the irradiates do? It's been 60 years, 70 years? You'd think that they'd have found all of it by now. Head to the radiation pools and uranium flats. Look for unexploded warheads. Dear. Down in the toxic pools, or up on the ridgeline around the valley. Okay, let's just deal with this guy. I assume he's involved in a mission of some kind that we just didn't have, so we couldn't help him properly, but that's quite unfortunate. Also interesting that humans evolve or mutate from quadrupeds to hexapods. Oh. What do you want from me? Well, he's going to mutate, isn't he? Yeah, there he goes. So we've got a lot to do. Wow, there's a lot of dudes there around this big bomb. We've got a lot of stuff to do, but it is currently 10:15, and so I think that will be the end of this stream. So if there is anyone actively watching, thank you for sticking around, and to those of you who will be hopefully watching the VOD, I hope you had a good time. But for now, goodbye.